Despite rainy weather and a slow track, 7 new records were established at the 65th German Track and Field Championships in Baden Stadium at Duisburg. The 1,500-meter run ended with a surprise. Harald Norpot, second in the Olympics at Tokyo, enters the race a strong favorite. The student pours it on 300 meters from the finish line, but Bodo Tümmler from Berlin overtakes Norpot and wins a surprise victory. The women's 100-meter dash. Erika Pohlmann from Gelsenkirchen beats defending champion Maya Rose in 12 seconds flat. In the men's 100-meter dash, Manfred Knickenberg wins in 10.3 seconds. Wolfgang Schilkowski is Germany's high jumping champion, and he wins with a jump of 7 feet 1/2 inch. Michael Sauer is crowned new champion in the hop, step, and jump event with a top distance of 54 feet 3 inches. Uwe Bayer, the bronze medal winner at Tokyo, throws the hammer 17 feet farther than his opponent. The championship toss 219 feet 10.5 inches. Heinrich John from Hanover is a double champion with wins in the 110 and 200-meter hurdles. The results of the German championships place the Federal Republic in 3rd place in Europe in track and field competition. During his 4-day state visit to the Federal Republic, Chile's President Eduardo Frei also met with ex-Chancellor Konrad Adenauer at Brünndorf on the Rhine. The two statesmen know each other from numerous international meetings. The talks between Eduardo Frei, Federal President Lübke, Chancellor Erhard, and other leading figures in politics and economics dealt mostly with the problems of world politics and questions of German-Chilean relations. The Chilean head of state was greeted in West Berlin by Mayor Willy Brandt. President Frei, during a trip to the wall, emphasized the sympathies of his government and the people of Chile regarding the division of Germany. Almost 700,000 Chileans are of German descent. Eduardo Frei signed the Golden Book of the City at Schöneberg City Hall. The public followed the visit of the Chilean president in the Federal Republic with great interest. The West German government will aid Frei's economic and social reform programs. For the first time in history, the Federal Republic and Israel exchanged ambassadors. Dr. Rolf Pauwels arrived at Tel Aviv Airport. Five days later, Israeli Ambassador Asher Ben Nathan was awaited at the Cologne bar and received, and their official papers approved. "154 American Porsche dealers from all over the United States met at Hamburg's International Airport to return to the States with their families. They came to Germany to attend courses at the Porsche factory in Stuttgart, where they were brought up to date on the latest innovations, including the new Porsche 912. This new model is expected to enjoy great success in America. After 2 weeks in Germany, Porsche's top representatives in America returned by charter to Chicago. "44 miles short of the point where the Elbe River flows into the North Sea lies the island of Helgoland, vacation paradise for almost 1 million tourists a year. Helgoland's 2,800 inhabitants just celebrated the 75th anniversary of the annexation of their island to Germany. The presence of Chancellor Erhard and British envoy Sir Frank Roberts was a reminder that in 1890 the British colony of Helgoland was given to Germany in exchange for the East African island of Zanzibar. Helgoland has a 700-year history. The island has changed owners 7 times. After World War II, it was the target of military bombing exercises. Reconstruction began in 1952 at a cost to date of $37.5 million. The seagulls nest their brood in the cliffs from April till July, the same period when the tourists settle down here en masse. Ships servicing the area brought more than 340,000 health-seeking guests to this area last year, handling around 7,000 every day. One of the age-old privileges enjoyed by the Helgoland natives is the freedom from all custom duties. One-day visitors have only 3.5 hours to enjoy the life on this remote hardy island and its citizens before their boats return to the mainland. Helgolanders no longer sustain themselves only by fishing, though. Every home on the island is a boarding house, and every second family conducts some form of retail business with customs-free goods. One of Helgoland's modern attractions is a swimming pool filled with ocean water and an enclosure for winter bathing. The island also has a church, a hospital, an old people's home, its own power plant, and a modern school. Although just about everything one needs to live must be brought over from the mainland, Helgoland citizens are doing all they can to reinforce their independence. Every bit as famous as Helgoland's ornithological sanctuary is the Institute for Marine Biology, which also maintains an excellent aquarium for research on North Sea marine life. Helgoland waters are also the most popular lobster fishing grounds in Germany. The lobsters are a delectable specialty, and the annual catch in these parts numbers about 50,000. This 170-foot tall sandstone pillar named Tall Annie is Helgoland's symbol and a dependable landmark for international ocean traffic. Helgoland's new lighthouse beams out more than 36 sea miles over the North Sea. About 650 miles away, in southern Germany and over into Austria, Wendelstein Mountain rises out of Bavaria's In-River Valley. This mountain train, a chain-wheel drive model, carries passengers 6,780 feet up the mountainside. Built in 1912 at a cost of 2 million gold marks, it's still covering the 4.5-mile stretch in about an hour. This church on Wendelstein Mountain, Germany's highest, was built in 1889. The mountain was first climbed in the 17th century. That unknown pioneer has since been followed by millions of adventure-seeking tourists. From the peak, about 7,500 feet up, we command an excellent view of the Eastern Alps and the Upper Bavarian Highlands. Scientists at the modern observatory atop Wendelstein Mountain look in another direction, and much further, of course. The observatory was financed and is operated by Munich University. Scientists and visitors alike cover the 125 yards from the mountain train's upper station to the observatory by elevator. The nucleus of the research center is a special unit for examining the sun's atmosphere. A mechanical moon can be moved into place at will, creating an artificial eclipse, which then permits detailed study of the sun's corona and composition. The University Observatory also contains another smaller unit of this type for routine measurements and a telescope with a spectroheliograph. As a rule, 3 meteorologists are stationed on Wendelstein Mountain in winter as well as summer. Theirs is an idealistic profession. Secluded life on a mountaintop is certainly not every man's cup of tea. The scientists issue daily reports on their findings. Their measurements are recorded in the sun's coordination network and then evaluated. The information also services the Federal Postal Agency and the Aviation Weather Service at Munich's airport. Munich's House of Art is currently hosting its big exhibition for 1965. The display, scheduled for 3 months, has as its goal a complete picture of the contemporary position of graphic art in Germany today. 600 artists are represented by well over 1,000 pieces. Munich makes a special effort to exhibit the artistic experiments of relative newcomers, who of course continually search for new forms of expression. We're at Germany's Nurburgring for the German Grand Prix, a couple of moments before the green flag. 19 Formula One cars are entered, with Scotland's Jim Clark in his 1.5-liter Lotus, the heavy favorite to win. Clark takes over the lead immediately, followed by Graham Hill, Jackie Stewart, and Dan Gurney. The tricky course, 14¼ miles long, will be covered 15 times. The Nürburgring contains 174 curves and a change in altitude of almost 1,000 feet, making it one of the toughest and nicest courses in the world. Then John Surtees in a Ferrari runs into technical problems. The Nürburgring winner of 63 and 64 and last year's world champion has to drop out. Jim Clark continues to lead the pack, increasing his lead with each round. And so it continued right up to the checkered flag. Jim Clark led all the way and wins in record time, a shade over 100 miles an hour average. Second place goes to Graham Hill. Third place honors go to Dan Gurney of the U.S. With 6 Grand Prix victories already to his credit, Jim Clark is assured the world's racing championship for 1965. Okay?